Failed. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 25 at the Tavern. Tyler,
Patrick.
this week we have Geekarch. So, trying to bring them back into the fray here. Say hi, guys.
Hey!
Hey!
There they are.
Didn't I just see you guys the other day? That is awesome.
Yeah. So,
I wonder why.
I know. All good. Hey, thanks for having us back, man. We really enjoyed ourselves last time we were on with the two of you, so thanks.
we tend to try to be enjoyable people.
Very much so. Very much so. Patrick, going
Ourselves funny.
Meeting you guys was on our bucket list. So.
It was on the bucket list.
You can quit life now.
Seriously, if anyone ever wants to meet us, like, as your bucket list for whatever reason, just let us know. We will totally hang out with you. We're that cool.
Especially if you want to buy us food and tell us how awesome we are.
I was going to say, yeah. The beer and the Red Bull, right?
Beer? Like, really
beer,
good beer.
Beer's food. Beer's food.
It is food.
Or Polish vodka.
Polish vodka.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes, the
Zoreska.
yeah, the buffalo grass.
The
Yeah.
buffalo grass with the apple juice. Cider.
Yes, that's right.
Yep, I have it written down. And other various notes from a top secret project that he's done.
Absolutely.
Written on the back of a PNC Bank envelope.
Tyler,
You know, Tyler, yeah, it's your professionalism that I like, so it's...
I'm not talking about anything. Well, let's get through our updates first.
our lame-ass updates? Yeah, here we go. Alright, so, we had a CNC update this week. Tyler, please take the lead.
Well, we posted the map online on our world building on Reddit, and
That is not the update.
well, no, but I'm getting into what the update was. Because the update was about the rivers. That was the one that went out, right? I'm pretty sure it was the one that went out. I'm pretty sure that was the one that went out. So we should keep.
Yeah,
going.
it was. It was. Twin Rivers.
Somebody had said that rivers aren't that straight, so I had to write lore onto why they were straight, and it has to do with ley lines. Read the update.
And magic.
Magic.
I kind of read it.
Yeah. Read your own updates for your own game.
Dude, like you said, by the time we're done with these games, we're going to want absolutely nothing to do with them, and people are going to be like, guys, tell us about your game. We're going to be like, go on the website. Just don't give a
Or no, we're going to publish the game, and people will be like, you want to play? We'll just be like, no, I don't want to go anywhere near that game.
Now
I'll be
you
on
know
the
the pain of a singer whose album goes platinum.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
It'll be as you said. The more
The
rich.
Willie Nelson, yeah, the Willie Nelson syndrome. Of course, he smokes a lot of weed, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Go here.
Earlier, Tyler, like a week ago, Tyler had made a joke that the more wealthy I become, the more indifferent I'm going to get about everything. So I'll be on my cash throne, and they'll be like, hey, Pat.
How do you feel about such and such?
And I'll just be like, it's okay, I guess.
Counting money. The gold crown. Anyway, we have some Scorched Earth updates coming out soon as well.
Oh, one went out. Probably the most worthless garbage I've ever written in my life.
Well, you know what? I didn't read it.
You probably don't want to. It's that bad. Like, seriously. You're better off not reading it. Because... you know what? Writing an after-action report is a pain in my ass, so I didn't even go that route, which was my initial route.
Probably should have went that way. Anything?
Oh no, I did a teletype message from MI5 field office operating in Mongolia. in 1949. It's not that bad.
It could be worse, I guess.
Whatever. And I had more fun coming up with code names and crap for that teletype. In fact, I don't even think teletypes were invented in 19. Come to think of it. Oh man, I gotta rework that.
I love that. I love that you added "God Save the Queen."
Yeah. I had to make it sound British, so God Save the Queen was pretty British.
Now remember, IBM had punch card computers back in World War II.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the teletype.
So I was trying to make you feel better about yourself.
And
I don't know.
in to kind of play devil's advocate here, when "God Save the Queen" first came out in the '70s as a song, it wasn't very British.
Oh no, wait, they had teletype in 1928. I'm good.
All right. Anyway, moving on beyond historical inaccuracies
I was accurate.
and conversations about historical inaccuracies. What else do we have?
Operation Blue Mongolia Shield is underway.
Yeah, that's the top secret team up between Geekarch and STG we can tell you about.
What team up? What top secret project? I don't know what you're talking about.
Leave them hanging on that.
Right.
If I don't return next week, because
With all the monkeys, right?
there's actually a secret operative sitting outside this window right now, waiting to take the shot.
Oh my god.
I finally get the show to myself.
Oh, the dice out.
So wild.
Well, I was gonna kill him with all the dice.
Probably could, honestly.
There's probably bound to be a 20 in there.
Probably.
Oh yeah, you probably roll 3 or 4.
Probably just one, honestly. The highest I would roll would be
120 and the rest ones.
All right. So I think that's really it for as far as updates for us go. It's been a pretty quiet time here. So moving on to Geekarch. Welcome back, guys.
Thank you so much.
Right on, right on. We're stoked to be here.
Right.
I have no idea why we brought them back. What are they there for?
I honestly am trying to remember why. Oh wait, I like these guys. Never mind.
Thanks, Matt.
Because you look good helping us make you look good.
Well, wait. I don't like you in that way. Don't get too excited. I think you're cool.
You did. Yeah, it's a bit.
Don't drive on the wrong side of the road. I'll bat for the other team, if you know what I mean.
He's not a switch hitter.
Oh.
Except for that one time.
Hey, you said you never talk about that.
It was your time at Boy Scout camp.
Whatever, you were there too.
And we're moving on. So, Geekarch, tell us about projects you got going on, other than the top secret one.
Well, we got a game to play and test. I think you guys are familiar with it.
Is it Pixel Glory? Because we have it as well.
It is. It is this.
It's right there.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Pixel Glory.
Yeah, ours is up there.
Yeah.
So we're going to be play testing this on Friday. We'll be doing a review on the gameplay as well as kind of a quick 5-minute instructional. This is how you get started. How to play.
Video.
And,
Video.
looks pretty fun and funny. So we'll be doing some stuff with Zafty.
Yeah.
Don't we have another one coming in the mail also? I think is there another system, another game coming?
Not till I don't think till September.
No, I can't remember what it was. So. But yeah, so that's our Friday night fun. Saturday there's a local con. The local library asked us to stop by. It's a anime con in Clearwater. So we'll be attending and shooting some videos, some photos, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It's actually all for kids, so no one over 18 will be there.
Except you.
Except us.
We also have a so the artist that
Oh yeah, tomorrow night.
that draws the current Star Trek comic. Brian. Last name starts with a W, I think.
Oh, I was way off.
Westinghouse.
Dave House.
Washington.
I don't know. I don't hot Trek here.
He's going to be at EC Comics here in Largo, and so there are going to be some cosplayers there, and we're going to take some photos, get an interview with him, maybe get him to sign some books.
Hey, do you know what Spock found in Kirk's bathroom?
Toothbrush?
A captain's log. Fuck Star Trek.
If we were on the contract right there, that terrible joke would be like in the list of things that I could fire you for.
Can't fire me for my own show, bitch.
They're going to clip that. They're going to clip it and turn it into an animated GIF.
They are. That's exactly. Yeah. We'll be on like a Wednesday we're at Emerald City Games. Saturday we're at the Clearwater Library for the con. And then we're ramping up for a bunch of other stuff. The big Tampa Bay comic book convention is coming up at the end of the month. Plus, we're doing a special after-party event down in Ybor, which is pretty cool. It's like a picture of smaller New Orleans setting. And we'll be in a place called the Cat, which I think we showed you last time we talked. We told you about that, but we're excited about all that stuff. So we got a lot
to be excited about.
So, right, and if I get to meet Carrie Fisher, that'll be the big thing. So
you gotta bet her.
She lost 40 pounds.
Wow.
For the role.
Yeah, she looks good. You gotta bet her. In the slave Leia outfit.
For the glory of all things geek.
Supposedly, she is doing a photo shoot in a full piece instead of a two-piece of the same garb. Supposedly.
Where, down by the water?
Was it Coke? If you brought like an 8-ball, I'm sure she'd do some crazy stuff.
She actually used to be an addict. I mean, she's very open about her past drug addiction.
You know what the best thing about Carrie Fisher I thought was she admitted that she used to bang the guy she met at the conventions to give him a special highlight. I thought that was crazy.
If we build a time machine, we have to.
I don't know if I can ask her that question or not to confirm that, but I swear she said that in the online interview. She
also, believe it or not, so I did some research on her. Because I was trying to find obscure things that other reporters wouldn't ask her about. You know, like stuff that she might have did when she was growing up, you know, in theater, because she started in the theater, in drama. She wasn't... but anyway, she actually used to sing in high school. She was like, that was what she did. She didn't even want to act because her dad did it. Her mom was in theater. She wanted to be a singer. So I figured I'd hit her up on that avenue because, well, I'm a singer, so.
I've been known to screech.
Screeching's okay.
I did sing in high school, and then I decided that punk rock was where I wanted my voice to go. So.
So you tried to join Pennywise?
Yeah.
What? So
you tried to join Pennywise?
No. We actually created a band called Buster Hyman and the Penetrators.
Is that a Pennsylvania thing?
So all of our music has overly sexual themes. Intended only for seniors in high school. We wear assless chaps on stage. with skin-tight leather pants underneath.
No shirts,
No shirts.
headbands, and
And
sometimes a wig.
And fake tattoo sleeves.
Yeah.
That's the fake tattoo sleeves. That's the thing.
Well, real tattoo sleeves would hurt because we're all image. We're all image. We're all bark, no bite. If you, we've sold out so hard, we just do what the record company tells us to do.
Right.
You guys need to check this hotel room. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So I gotta ask you guys.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to ask you guys this since the last show. If you could build a space tavern, what would it look like?
Kind of like a regular tavern.
I mean, we want to set it up in the asteroid belt on one of the
Larger planet-size asteroids.
on one of the planetoids, and take some lumber up there.
Yeah, we didn't really think about how it would look. We have a name picked out.
The Space Tavern.
Oh, so you're ahead of the curve.
Oh yeah, the Duke of Ale.
The Duke of Ale. That's actually the name of the tavern in one of the plays that I'm writing. I probably peaked on clever names right there. I don't think I'll get any more clever than that for the rest of my life.
I peaked on Buster Hyman and the Penetrators.
Triple Penetrators.
Triple Penetrators. That's right.
Don't sell us short. We're not just one penetration.
We're triple. 3-hole qualified first night.
I'd like to think that.
Wasn't that a book?
Is it?
I think it is a book.
Well, getting back to Jason's thing, we would like to build a tavern on the
ISS. That'd be sick.
But it'd be even cooler if they built us our own module to go on the ISS.
STG module.
So check this out. If you had an opportunity to open a real tavern,
Yes.
no risk, so you could do whatever you wanted, what would it be like?
Well, there have to be really, really good bar food because bar food is the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
When it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
I agree.
no Grey Goose vodka is allowed on my staff. Jason, I'm looking at you.
Even if it was given to you for a Christmas present?
I love how pissed off. No, because I dump it down the sink and smash the bottle over whoever did it.
If it makes you feel any better, I only give it to guests.
Oh, so that explains my Christmas present from Jason.
Fucking Grey Goose
A
vodka.
gifted bottle of drinking.
Jason, it hurts Daddy when you do that stuff to me.
Alright, the only American bourbon I would allow would be Jim Beam.
Not Four Horsemen?
Okay, so there's two. And following that, because Jack Daniels sucks ass. Whoever thinks it's delicious,
Ass Daniels.
yeah, is like an idiot. And everything else would be imported Irish whiskey.
And then
Triple malt?
selection of beer
Yeah, and a huge selection of beer.
from all over the world in space.
In
Yeah.
space.
In fact, that giant, was it 2 billion ton cloud of spiced rum floating around in space? We would go raid that. No, I'm not making that up. That's real.
Oh, I know. We would bottle it. We call it space rum.
Space rum. Space pirates.
It goes right next. Goes right along next to our space mead.
And we would brew our own mead.
Space mead.
Space
Oh.
mead.
Yeah,
I like that.
Would you have a cigar bar?
Absolutely. There'd be a
Yeah.
smoking section,
Yep.
complete with cigar
You
bar.
gotta have a cigar bar.
Absolutely. If you're gonna have a bar, if you're gonna have a tavern in space, you might as well have a tavern.
And we have to have something on the roof. I mean,
Right.
there at the stars. Hello.
Like rooftop air bubble, like something out of SpongeBob, like the bubble ball episode where they come out of the ground. Well, something like that. Everybody can look at all the
So how about taps at the table?
Taps at the table. That could be fun. That could be really fun.
Now you know they make a machine and actually it's got. Have you seen that, Jason? The mini beer taps that sit at the table. You can actually pour your own.
So there's a place called Jack's Social in Jacksonville, Florida. He actually put taps at the table, and they're computerized so that you pay based on a $100 increment.
Right.
So if you're going to spend $100 or more, then you get to sit at one of those tables and drink beer up to a $100 limit.
Huh.
There's been some other places. I traveled a lot with the previous job, and I've been in some places where it's the same thing. It's pretty cool though, when you actually pull your own beer at your table.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, and
there's no annoying waiter who's telling you you've been drinking too much.
Yeah.
in
But
fact,
there's always that one guy who thinks he knows how to pour a beer out of the tap, who has absolutely no clue.
he's
how
a
to.
fucking moron.
Gives you a glass full of head.
It's basically all it is.
Don't
And
get me wrong. I like head, but not that much.
That's the kind of head you can't put your dick in.
Actually,
It
good.
doesn't fit.
Yeah, it's just not a very pleasant sensation.
Yeah, you actually could do that.
In fact, I'm going to take it a step further. Jim Beam would be my well whiskey, because I've had some horrible well whiskeys in my life, and I've had one that's made me throw up on my first sip. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
It was nasty.
That would be it.
All right, so if we're going to turn this around here, if you guys had the chance to go to a tavern in space, what would you want there to be, other than tips at the tables and the cigar box?
Space girls.
Topless robots. Yeah, topless robots for starters, and then their nipples would be the spigots. That would be right.
Drink from those.
And then have your friends hold you upside down in front of them.
Dude, you're in space.
Well,
This is a family show, but
that's what I meant.
Well,
there'd have to be the zero. There'd have to be the.
like
Yeah.
2 minutes into it.
We're talking about a tavern. I don't think it's this. This is a.
Hey, you know what else would be cool? Jason.
I'd want a carousel of shots to be readily available. You just hit a button and it comes out of the friggin' table.
Idea. Right here. We'll have little launch pads behind the bar, and these little rocket ships can shoot the drink or whatever the hell you want to you, and you have to catch it like a football. Because if you fall, it'll probably kill you.
Patrick, you get a 0G room, right? And the alcohol is encased in a pellet. So the pellet fires into the 0G room, and you float around off of like a padded walls to try and like garf the 0G alcohol shot pellet.
Well, I could see that being really funny because the more drunker people get, it would be like they'd be like coming up to this to the wall. They'd be like, go to move off it, and just be like.
I'd need 2 0G rooms because then I'd want my combat room. Where everyone has pugil sticks, and we go head to head. They're also called pugil sticks.
Reminds me of a Ender's Game drinking game.
An Ender's Game. Oh my
I would just want to see it. Honestly, I would settle for not having a tavern if I could just watch a bunch of drunk people be in zero gravity for an hour.
Yeah.
All right, let's
That
go.
could be a sideshow.
I'm studying to be a aeronautical engineer, so I'm sure I could get us on, and we could all go on the Vomit Comet.
I was gonna say, why don't we get on the Vomit Comet? That'd be great.
You know, that's how Apollo 13 was shot.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, they would go up in the Vomit Comet and shoot the scenes.
Yeah. How long are you weightless? Well, what, 20, 30 seconds?
30 to 45 seconds.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know if I could do that, man. I feel like I'd puke and start it.
Well, the reason why they call it the Vomit Comet is because you get vertigo right before weightlessness.
Yeah, but
So
I'm all for it. I want to do it. If STG never does anything, I'm just going to go work for NASA. I'm going to take you to space with me.
Is that you to me?
Yeah. I mean, I'll take these guys too on different missions. Because if I'm a in-flight engineer, I can sponsor the Loadmaster, who absolutely needs no training. It's like a PR thing. So if you guys ever want to go on space too, let me know. I'll take you with me.
I'll tell you what. If you get past your 4th year and get into your 5th year, then I want to talk to you about solid matter rocket fuel and ionizing hydrogen as a propulsion.
Okay.
I wrote a thesis paper to air traffic control, which is why I was given a scholarship to the Florida Institute of Technology in the first place.
Aren't you?
And I was like 19 when I wrote the paper. But air traffic control gives away like $80,000 a year to 2 people.
Yeah.
And you have to explain to them in a paper what your aviation degree will do to advance the aviation field. So I wrote a paper on ionizing hydrogen as a propulsion system. So freezing it.
Can you
freezing, yeah.
You still have it? I'd love to read it.
Yeah, I'll have to dig it up. It's on one of my Terra drives. But the basis for it was basically you freeze hydrogen, right?
Yep.
And then when you release it from that state, rather than let it get to a volatile state, you ionize it before it gets there. And so you use the state change as costless energy.
Dude, that is genius.
Yeah, I unfortunately never had any backing to actually go into proving the theorem, because the professor, wanted me to have all this college work done before I got to the research portion of my degree. So I was too hardy to party and all that.
The next endeavor after we get everything going with Keystone Kid Entertainment will be Keystone Kid Rocket Propulsion Laboratories.
Well, there's all these new, there's so many people in the space program, right? The various space aspects, I should say. SpaceX and
aerospace. Yeah.
It's actually interesting.
What the monkey fuck? I can't do that. Alright, so actually we could actually send a satellite up. We could build our own satellite and send it up for like $2,000.
Yeah, you could rent airspace for I think $100,000 a day, and launch your own rocket.
Well, we just missed the Google. Using Google's, they just had that space race thing where you had to build a rocket to the moon and a Land Rover that had to go X amount of feet on the moon.
But they were letting you use their airspace to do it?
I think so.
Yeah, Google was paying for it.
Yeah, this is the first people to do it won like $1 million or something like that. I remember watching that in class and being like, man, if I understand anything about rockets, I could try to win $1 million.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure after you go out and have a bender one night, just piss in a bottle and use that.
Here's my attempt at the third world space program.
You know what? I got a mean fishing pole cast. I'll tell you what. Let me just put it on the end of my fishing pole and fling it out there.
Well, I got this really high-end reel, guys. This should work.
Now, why don't we just get a bunch of balloons and send something up that way?
Red Bull did it.
Everybody does. You ever see those little cameras they send up into space in a little shoebox? And that's the way to do it.
So I have an idea to shoot by you guys. This is kind of off in left field, but it has to do with physics.
Okay. I'm all ears.
So when you drop something, right? When it hits, whatever it hits, it's expending some kind of energy, right? It's the force of it hitting is resonating with whatever it hits.
Yeah.
So let's say you took a marble and you dropped it into like a basket that was shaped like a crescent moon, right?
Okay.
But when you dropped it, you dropped it at one of the ends of the crescent. What's the natural progression of the marble?
It's gonna continue.
Right, exactly, right?
Yeah.
So now, imagine that you're shooting 100 100-pound steel balls into like a hamster wheel. Right?
The hamster wheel in this case obviously isn't plastic, is it?
No, it would be some kind of titanium
So
alloy.
it's a drum. Okay.
Right. Now, what happens is when you drop the marble into a cylinder, right? If you drop it at the right angle, it's going to drop and then it's going to slide around the cylinder. Right? Well, if you drop enough of them, they're going to start turning the cylinder itself.
Yeah.
So if you use centrifugal force to drop the marbles or these steel balls, it doesn't cost you anything energy-wise to drop them.
Okay.
So let's say you built a platform, right, that's like 200,000 stories. Right, so it's about like a half mile.
200,000 stories? That's beyond a half mile.
That's 10 feet times 200,000. That's... Yeah, you're right. So that's like 200 miles above the stratosphere. So that's like, almost outer space.
Yeah.
And you dropped these steel balls into this hamster wheel, and
I'll miss you, my friends.
now once you drop them, right?
Yep.
There would be a release point and some form of retrieval system, and so eventually the centrifugal force would build up enough speed to create a gyretic engine, so that the hamster wheel would turn on its own.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't need to continue to drop more steel balls in it. You would only need the ones that you originally started with.
Right.
So how do you take that concept and turn it into a propulsion system?
Well, I don't understand physics, but just a simple, trying to simplify it for my simple brain.
Do you mean like jet propulsion system or just any type of propulsion system?
Any propulsion system.
Wouldn't it be easier just to figure out how many steel balls you would need to keep in the drum, and then have the drum started on some kind of...
But then you're costing energy to start it.
He doesn't want to spend any energy.
I don't want to spend any energy at all. Well, then I can't help you. I have no idea.
So I'm using gravity as my energy.
Yes.
Gravity is gonna create the force necessary to create movement inside the drum.
Yeah. Well, you're also missing the you have to get like into space, almost space. You have to, work with wind and all that other crap.
Right, but you only have to do that once.
Right. So you want like a permanent, perpetual motion. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah.
Okay. I have no idea.
It's an energy source. It's an energy source that could feed, anything. It could power a generator.
I have absolutely no idea. What do you
So
think?
imagine you could shoot a rocket off into space without using fuel.
That
So
would
like a gun.
We need a
Right.
scramjet?
My degree is in theater. My responsibility.
I know it's a left field idea, but
I'm used to left field ideas, but not. We're not playing the same type of baseball. You're playing weird, like Canadian baseball.
Canadian baseball.
Which,
Yeah.
unless you're the Toronto Blue Jays, I just assume is different. I guess any if you call it so Canadian baseball, Canadian soccer, Canadian football. I just like to think all of them are hockey on different fields. Oh man. Let's talk about stuff. Let's look.
Hey, sorry, I'm getting distracted by this Scramjet article I was reading.
Nice.
Jason, can we come back to this at a later date?
Absolutely. Yeah, I was just throwing that out there.
We'll have a special At the Tavern episode where Jason and Patrick discuss physics, and I'm over here just.
I was gonna, yeah. I'll put
And my brain is just
my comic books with me.
Yeah, Todd and I will just do various things throughout the episode. We won't talk. I'll put on like a different costume.
Hey, you know what though? That's the episode I should bring the bikini chick.
Yes, it is.
All right.
And I'll just keep the camera fed on you and her the whole time.
Hey, let's go steal one of the X-15s and go fly that around.
We could do that. Break the sound barrier like really, really close to like a mall.
Well, the X-15 goes at like 7,000 miles per hour.
Yeah, what song you gotta play? Danger Zone.
It would probably shatter windows and walls. And
You gotta play this.
We'll fly it up and down the coastline, blowing
in a
out
couple of
every-
minutes. In a couple of minutes. Yeah.
We'll crank it up just on.
We're in New York. Let's go to Miami. Oh, we'll see you in a couple of minutes.
No, we'll just steal Blackbird.
It'll just be. Look up.
Right.
Woo! Look what we got.
Did you see me? No.
Nobody watches Archer? Am I the only one who watches Archer?
No, I love Archer.
All right.
It's a 2D scrolling game where you swing like Pitfall and grab beer.
Glorious.
I must share it with you guys. I must retweet.
I don't need anything else in my life.
I must retweet.
You guys just have the bandwidth out of this.
This is awesome.
Should
Well,
physics is cool.
yeah, I would never have
So,
anticipated a.
Here's the 2D game I was telling you about.
Placeholders can be fun too. So awesome, we're tweeting about it and talking about it. At the
Tweeting.
same
Well,
time.
actually, we're not doing a whole good job of talking.
Yeah,
So how about this? How about you guys? You pointing to the screen as if Jason is here. You guys will write me a like 7-episode long miniseries, and then I'll wear a yellow turtleneck and be Carl Sagan.
My left nut, because you wouldn't know anything you're talking about. You'd just be saying
Okay.
lines.
And
No.
well,
That would be an insult to the scientific
I
community.
like to see you beat Carl Sagan. This is how it fucking works. Do the thing, and if you complain about it, learn about it. Goes over.
Listen,
John.
listen up, fucksticks. Pay attention. I didn't go to fucking school, so you can sit there and look at me with your fucking jaw hanging open like an idiot.
If today was tomorrow, then yesterday would be today.
Just use a lot of like motivational bullshit.
Climb the waterfall so that you can swim down the river like the salmon.
To learn to swim like a fish. Must become the fish.
right. And then more Jacques to be the fish.
Oh man. So
Yeah.
let's get back on gaming stuff.
Let's dig the tree out the hole and dug itself in.
Though that I don't, I enjoy talking about physics, but my eyes were glazing over with the whole.
my body was having its natural reaction of being bored in class again, which is.
Did you know this segment was unofficially brought to you today by Red Bull?
We're talking about physics in space, the Red Bull space program. Mine's empty though. Well, now it is.
Bust out the yellow ones.
Later. That's Rowan Cassandra. So in the news world today, what I've found is there's not a whole lot going on. I think it's that kind of weird downtime that everybody's not ready to announce their project yet. What? D&D has released a PDF version of Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Player's Handbook. Available now at DriveThruRPG for $9.99.
Or you can have the hard copy.
Oh, what do we have here? Do we have a Player's Handbook, 2nd edition?
Well, this is actually my DM guide, but it's over there.
Nice. Now, where's the 1st edition one?
Well,
I wasn't alive when that one was out, so that wasn't current. Born, whatever.
uh-oh. Jason got up. He's throwing down the gauntlet.
Yeah, he said his bookshelf. Be prepared for anything.
Put the hustler back.
Hold on, what's on my bookshelf? Let's see.
Oh,
The
hey,
Cascade Cycle.
everyone.
Oh, look! Hounded's up here.
everyone needs to read this book by Kevin Hearn. It's called Hounded. It's the
Yeah,
Iron
Kevin
Truth
Hearn is awesome, right? If you're not reading Kevin Hearn, you got to read Kevin's stuff.
So his last book
you're wrong.
published. His last book published was Shattered. So from Hounded to Shattered, you need to read everything in between.
I don't know why it's on my bookshelf. I have no idea. I don't know why it's so predominant.
Because it's a great book.
It's a fantastic book.
Everybody should read these books. Read.
Those books, hey, you know what? No, they should listen to the books.
Yes, listen to these books. Luke Daniels is one of the best voice actors I have ever heard in my life. He is hilarious. You must listen.
Actually, yeah, another, shit, what's his name?
But anyway, what were you going to show us, Jason?
Oh,
Oh.
hold on. Any Tom Clancy novel from, like, 1999 up, Lou Diamond Phillips does the ebook for him.
LDP.
Which I think is just fucking fantastic. It's hilarious listening to it read it to you, because you feel like he's grandpa sitting in a rocking chair reading it to you
Reading telling you his old war stories.
as you're going to sleep.
What is this? What is this? What is this that I have? What is it? What could it be? Could it be a 1st edition Player's Handbook?
How much you pay for that on eBay, dude?
I've had this
1998 with your first launch of eBay.
I actually got this book given to me by a friend who collected everything from comic books to Star Wars, and he sold most of his stuff for like $20,000 or $30,000, and everything that he couldn't take with him, he gave to me. So,
Where was he going? Prison?
Yeah, right.
actually, he was moving to New York for a $500,000 job, so he didn't really care about the stuff.
Yeah. Hey, now that's cool, but if you collect Dungeons and Dragons stuff, you want something you can use in any game, this is what you got to pick up. Are you ready? All right. You guys probably have this. This is what you got to get right here.
The Dungeons and Dragons creature catalog.
This is classic.
Creature catalog. You know what you guys are missing out on? You know what book you guys just really ought to read at some point in your life?
If he pulls 4th edition trash out, I will.
If you pull a 4th edition book, I'm going to beat you with my tongue.
I'm gonna invent the reach through.
Is that like a...
Put that down.
This book changed my life.
Captain
Captain
Underpants.
Underpants.
I can't see what... Oh, Captain
And
Underpants?
while you're at it, machining fundamentals changed my life.
Alright, oh, wait,
Captain,
okay.
this one particularly is Captain Underpants and
And if you
hairless
have
plot.
kids,
Oh, wait. What are you showing me there?
He's got Vader's son and Vader's little princess.
they're gifts for my Father's Day.
Where is?
It's upstairs. Yeah, Path of the Jedi's right.
You guys realize it's not his chair again.
I don't know if you can see this.
Jedi suck. It's a hokey religion.
Well, you have my book upstairs somewhere.
It's upstairs. I'll stick to my blast. Alright. Enough about fucking books. Christ. I don't know what you're talking about. Stop fornicating with the pages.
Oh, look, he's got them too.
Oh, nice.
With 3D postcards.
Alright.
Any librarians watching this just got a huge book.
Bags of books over there, dude.
Yeah, right? I didn't even get into those.
Yeah, I got a bookshelf behind me.
Yeah.
I actually haven't had a chance to bring them down yet, but I just bought a bunch of other books, and among them is Cosmos by Carl Sagan.
Where?
That was a good book. I read that.
I have Rocket's Brain. It's over there.
And what's the other one?
They're both Rocket's Brain. You bought the hardcover version.
Oh, I got the hardcover.
What about Space by James A. Michener? That was one of the books that inspired me to want to be a aerospace engineer / astrophysicist.
I read that one, but I did. Have you read The Right Stuff?
Oh, absolutely. That's a great book.
Yeah,
I
that's
saw the movie. I didn't read the book.
You know what? The book is actually worth reading, dude.
I recommend Robin Hood.
I mean, I don't know much about Gus Grisham and Ed White. And, crap, what's the third guy's name? Ed? Ed White, Gus Grisham, and Chaffee. Roger Chaffee, that's right. But Gus Grisham, he's like one of my most all-time favorite pilots in the world.
Oh, I thought there was more to that.
What? I was talking about Apollo 1.
Well, no, I know what you were talking about. I thought you were like going to say he's my favorite pilot, and then I was waiting for the because of X.
I mean, if you read The Right Stuff, there's a lot of little stories about.
That should be
all
our
three
next
of
game
those
we
different
develop.
dudes.
The space game.
The space game.
Right, right.
First one to build a successful space program wins.
We should have the nation of Zambia as one of the options.
Do we also have the nation of Kiss My Auntie?
No, like Zambian like third world space program. That was a real thing. It's like reading a fucking joke, but they made a go at it.
I was also making a reference to role models. The nation of Kiss My Auntie.
Yeah, I know you were.
A kiss-shaped rocket. It's a rocket shaped like Richard or
Gene
Gene
Simmons.
Simmons' bass.
First of all, Kiss would be a good band, but they're really not. I don't give a shit if anyone disagrees with me.
I don't like Kiss that much either. I guess we just weren't alive for the Kiss craze.
Dude, listen to their music. Like, think about it. If Green Day or any other band did their music, it would be fantastic songs. But they're not. In fact, if Quiet Riot did their music, they would be amazing songs.
There you go. You see that link I just sent you?
Hold on. Space.com. Oh God.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
The Afronauts.
Yeah, dude. Space Girl and Space Dog and some dude.
Yeah.
And he knocked up Space Girl, the program director.
World of Zambian Astro.
What do you guys think about those quizzes that you take? Those sci-fi quizzes?
I don't
On, like,
ever pay attention to
Facebook?
them.
Yeah, to see what character you'll be.
I never pay attention to them.
I think they're dumb. But what'd you get?
I got Mal from Firefly.
Oh,
Oh,
Nathan
Todd, your
Fillion.
friend just went down. Who?
What now?
Mal from
Yeah.
Firefly.
Yeah.
what?
Nathan Fillion.
Yeah. The man, the myth, the legend, Nathan Fillion.
Nate Dogg?
I aim to misbehave.
That's just because you're a badass, dude.
Adam Baldwin as Jane is one of my favorite things I've ever seen.
Dude, that's so.
What? That's Adam. Isn't that Adam Baldwin?
Yeah. Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Because Alec Baldwin is a douchey one. Even though Adam Baldwin kind of recently has been kind of a douche.
I thought Stephen Baldwin was a douche.
Douchebags. If your name is Baldwin, you're a fucking douchebag. And I'm calling you out, Baldwins. Come to my house, we'll rumble, and I'll kick your shit out of you.
Hey, don't forget I'm in Pennsylvania next weekend.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
we're gonna rumble with Todd.
That's right.
Rumble some beers.
Yeah.
Dude,
Jason.
Kevin he's at the Met at Staten Island,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like behind the scenes in the museum, like
Why
they
are
let
we
him
talking
go.
about Kevin?
It's not like we're like
Bros with him.
We only worship the ground he walks on.
This is really cool. I want to go to the Met Museum in New York.
Like
Dude.
the Amazing Mets, the New York Mets.
Like the New York Met, the museum. You gotta check this out. Look at these weapons.
I'm on his Twitter. Whoa, what are
Nice.
those?
Turkish swords. Llama.
That's freaking awesome, dude.
We should go in and start a sword fight.
Yeah, that'll go over well.
Hey, I fenced in high school.
I took fencing lessons or rapier lessons for a role I did once.
Isn't it awesome?
It's pretty good. I love stage
It's-
combat, personally. It's one of my favorite things.
Fencing's not stage combat. I mean,
Well, no, but my rapier training was.
just
I'll
saying.
tell you what. I sweat more fencing than I did playing an hour of basketball.
Yeah.
It's like you're tense and then not tense, tense and then not tense, tense and then not tense.
Yeah. It's crazy. And like, thinking about training with a longsword or a broadsword every day, your entire life. Like, we talk about people in the Middle Ages being ripped, but those dudes must have been ripped.
Oh yeah.
What's the armor they had on and everything? I mean, you know.
Their body mass index must have been like 0.01.
Unless
Well, I read this book, right? I read this book about, I guess this guy is like a historian or whatever, right? And he has a group of people that reenact what a real battle was like back in like the 1400s. And it literally looks like they're moving in slow motion because the armor and the sword is so heavy that they can only strike one time every like 50 or 60 seconds because it takes that long to recover from the swing. And I was like, I can't imagine people fought like this 500 years ago. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah, I was reading a book actually. So it's going back to the books and stuff. But there's a book called Knight's Word. I think it's how you say it. It's spelled W-Y-R-D. I don't know. But it was a used book, and I finally got around to reading it. And the description they did of it's about a knight who's traveling across the land and fighting things and stuff. But they do a tournament battle with somebody, and how they were describing it was so unbelievably accurate. It was I couldn't believe how hardcore everybody was. But the funny story comes is I was actually missing literally one page out of the book in the last chapter. It was just ripped out. So I had tweeted at the author like, "Hey, I'm missing the book. I'm missing this page in the book. Can you tell me what happened?" And then like an hour later, I got a tweet back that says, "Oh, here's all the text you missed." And I was like, "Oh, sweet."
That's awesome.
Oh. Hey, do that picture Kevin uploaded. That's pretty cool at the museum.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Hey, Night's Word. There it is.
Yes. That night's word. Todd.
That was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really well done. I think it's more geared towards a younger audience, but overall, I thought it was a pretty interesting idea. And a very interesting. I think it leaves itself open to have more books in the series, but they just never wrote any more books in the series.
So speaking of a knight fighting,
Okay.
I was thinking about a game mechanic where, like, a player character had to fight some being, whether it be another human or a monster or whatever. And I was like, what could you do in a game that was completely different than what everybody else is doing in a game when it comes to an interaction between two characters battling, that put it over the top and made it super cool but super easy and not complicated? Like, what is that sweet spot with a battle for a game mechanic for battling?
The sweet spot for a game mechanic about battle. Well, I think out of the things that I've played, the one that is the easiest to learn is the battle mechanic of War Machine. It's one of the simplest things I've ever played because your character has a strength stat and your weapon has a power. If it's a melee weapon, when you attack, the damage is power plus strength, which is equal to whatever number your power and your strength is to. You have to, and then you have a melee attack skill and a ranged attack skill. So your attack starts with, if I'm swinging my sword at you, say your defense is 12, I have a melee attack skill of 6. I then roll 2d6, and if I get 6 on this dice for a total, adding my mat skill for a total of 12, I've hit you. That doesn't mean I've damaged you, but I've hit you. And then you have an armor skill depending on that, and then I have to roll again for my power plus strength on my weapon and things like that. I think that's the easiest one I've ever learned, and one of the fluid ones. The only problem is if you try to do large-scale combat on it, it gets a little iffy and hairy. So that would be my vote for easiest one.
So if you were developing a game where you had to battle a creature or more than one, would you make the mechanic so that you could attack them all at the same time, or you'd have to deal with each individual encounter as you encountered it?
Well, I think we'd make the ability to do a broad sweeping attack, and then you just roll against each one.
But wouldn't
that depend on the type of play you want, though? I mean, if you're looking for realism versus quickness,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
right. Well, then you have to think about your audience. Who are you targeting the game to? Is it a game you want everybody who's not even familiar with, battle mechanics in a game to be able to play it, or do you just want the people who are familiar with that kind of thing to play it?
right. Now, do you know one of my favorite games I used to play, but the mechanics were tough, was Rollmaster stuff?
Rollmaster?
Which I liked. I liked the skill set builds, and the combat was great.
But that was a lot of.
Oh, you had to have everything pre-figured before you sat down, or see what you want down and play.
Yeah, there was a lot of pencil work that had to be done before you actually sat down and played the game.
You ever play the old Shadowrun game, though, where you threw D6s? You throw like 40 D6s?
Yeah.
I did play a Shadowrun game like
Remember that?
Yeah.
The old Star Wars game, too. You use the Force, you throw like 40 D6 down, you'd be like, holy crap.
Now, I'm going to date myself here, but there used to be a game.
Paranoia. No.
There used to be a game called the Admiral's Hill. I think that's what it was called. The Admiral's Hill. No, the Colonel's Hill. And this game, now, you guys might not know this, but tabletop games have been around since like the 60s. So there used to be this game called the Colonel's Hill, and it was a hex-based game, and you had these tanks, and you would move the tanks a certain amount of hexes based on how many men the colonel had currently in his army. And the way you gained men was by
What are we talking about?
occupying more hexes on the board than your opponents. And this is a game that was, I think it was 1962 was when it came out.
Yeah, I'm sure they've been playing, war simulations forever, so for sure.
Yeah, so anyway, the mechanic for interacting with someone, I think if you're building a game, you want the game to be fun, popular, recognizable, and you want the people that play it to relate to it whether they know or don't know the genre. And, I mean, generally games like that are generic games like Sorry and Monopoly, and they don't have a particular theme
Right.
that ties them to a certain genre. So it's hard to create an RPG that would not, specifically target a certain audience.
I think the hardest part about combat mechanics in general is combat is generally a fast-paced. Like in anything you think about, when you think about combat, you think about it being fast-paced, and like real-life combat is fast-paced. There's a lot of quick movements back and forth, quick thoughts, quick reactions, that kind of thing.
Right.
Active rolling dice automatically slows that down. So, and you can create a combat mechanic that is so in-depth that you have I'm going to parry up left or up right. You have to choose that, but that's going to bog it down even more.
Right, no question.
Or it's harder to do an in-depth combat mechanic in a tabletop game because unlike what's the word I'm looking for? An outlet like video games or even LARPing or whatever, there's no way to make that fast-paced without having to slow it down instead, at least a little bit.
Let me tell you how Talisman does it. Talisman, you as a player character have a static stat, right? That only changes. That only changes.
Have you guys played Talisman?
No, they haven't played.
Okay.
So, your power, each person's power starts at a different number based on your character, right? So
Right.
your power plus a six-sided die is how much you can hit something for. Now, the only time that changes is if you get to pick up a weapon or some other specialty card that lets you add to your hit. The thing that you're hitting has a number on its card, and that's what you have to beat, plus its six-sided dice. So if it's a dragon, it might have a 6. So it's going to roll a die 6 and add that to its 6. You're going to roll a die 6 and add it to your 5, or if that's your power, whatever you started with, and any weapons that you picked up or any specialty cards. So it's just add those numbers, and the monster has its pip number plus its dice, and you add that together, and whoever has a higher roll wins.
Actually a fun game. And then when you play, you can actually discover, like Jason was saying, artifacts. Well, you can pick up a sword that adds to your defense or your offense, and
Sounds like Dungeon.
but yeah, it's actually a pretty in-depth game to play. There's a lot of good expansions for it too.
I know. I was just saying the combat mechanics sound like Dungeon.
But with your question that you posed, the hardest part about capturing the fluidity and the speed of combat in a board game is that it automatically is going to be very immediately at least half the speed of one.
Yeah.
You could compare. I mean, What the fuck are we talking about, by the way?
You just want to rephrase your question real quick.
So, I was asking what is the sweet spot for combat mechanics in a board game, as far as time is concerned?
Does it have to be a board game, or can it be like any tabletop game?
Any tabletop game that you're creating, what is that sweet spot where it's not slowing the game down too much, but it's easy enough for the person who's learning the game to learn it and play the game without causing a great deal of learning curve.
I mean, honestly, the best thing I could tell you to do, first off, is play other games with combat mechanics, and then figure out, what works, what doesn't work, and then gauge how fast your combat is off other popular combat tabletop games. And I mean, if you can beat faster than most of them, that's going to be a really sweet game to play as opposed to combat style. Because, I mean, honestly, when I'm playing, sorry, Privateer Press, but when I'm playing War Machine, you get your attack roll,
Damage roll.
What?
And your damage roll.
Then your damage roll, and then they can do a save roll.
There's no save roll in War Machine. There's no save roll in War Machine.
What's that fucking roll you do? And you're like, oh, I'm saved.
Oh no, that's a tough roll.
Tough, whatever.
That's a special ability roll.
So, anyways, but I mean, having to do that slows down the mechanic, I think. And
Right.
This War Machine 40K.
Warhammer 40K.
Warhammer. Sorry, slip of the tongue. Sue me. Suck my ass.
Pennsylvania thing?
What?
Is that a Pennsylvania thing?
Suck my ass? I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm gonna move out of the state of it. I think as far as combat goes, it's gotta be fluid, and I think if you have more than 3 steps in your combat, you've automatically bogged it down beyond playability.
I mean, people are gonna fucking play it. But...
I mean, obviously, there are gonna be people like, oh, the combat is so good, you gotta play it. It's the game for true combat people. Yeah.
Privateer Press put this out. We must play it.
Yeah.
I must play this game.
I like to think.
Grandma's Boy reference. Sorry.
I know, right? Hey, more importantly, if you have Netflix, Grandma Boy is now on Netflix.
I love that movie.
I love that movie too.
That's worth staying up tonight and watching if you got it.
Oh, I don't know how many times I've done that.
I don't know what sleep is anymore.
So,
It's like we go to bed, kids wake up. Why? Wait, it's only 8 in the morning. Why?
don't be like your dad. Get sleep while you can. But I think so. I like my combat to come in 3s. Getting back to this, so we can wrap this up. I like my combat in 3s. I like the attack, the defense roll or save roll or whatever, and then any special abilities that may come because of that, like the resolution part of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with you. I like the quick resolution too. I don't really like to get, especially when I'm running a game DMing. I like to keep. I'm a storyteller when I game.
Yeah.
So I like to keep things moving story-wise. I don't like to see extended combat. I mean, it happens, but especially if your party's sort of having an off night and they can't find their ass.
Yeah. So I mean, like sometimes you want that like hardcore, super
Right.
fun.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want a combat mechanic that takes 20 minutes to defeat one enemy and then throw 30 enemies at them, because then you spend the whole night trying to kill everything and you're like, God damn it, because your rolls suck, and you wind up actually gently caressing the troll instead of killing it.
And you later become resistance.
Well, I think it's about wrap-up time here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Already?
Started about half an hour.
Hey, can we go back and talk about physics some more? Or is that for something?
That's not this podcast. Mainly because you don't have the scantily clad women, Todd, and I don't have anything ridiculous I can do on this end yet. So,
Jason, that was awesome. I'm not poking fun at you. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if I had understood any of it, I'm sure I would have been dumbfounded and amazed by it.
Right.
If I was actually in the mode to care about it at this time, then we would probably had a really deep conversation.
Remember, I just scuba dive. That's all I do.
Yeah, you should check my tweet about that, about how I felt through that whole segment.
It's awesome. You see the one I put up there? I put one up there too.
Was it the physics is awesome? You should check out the reply that I gave you. Oh no, we love physics. No, that wasn't that one. It was the physics is cool one that I gave you the reply.
Oh, I saw. Yeah, it was Jason.
Anyway, so as always, Geekarch, we'll have to have you on again when we can talk about our Super Secret collaboration.
Yeah. Well, there's some other things too. I'm going to talk about with you guys on the game development side next time too. Have a conversation about that. So.
Yeah, definitely.
If you don't mind.
We're always down to have conversations about anything.
So.
You
physics
there. You were here.
I think we need to have like an all-star show, right? Like bring on your artist.
Oh no! So what we should do is that when we go to have our last episode of the season, we'll have an all-star show where we'll invite all of our favorite guests from the season.
We'll have a 22-window hangout.
That's right.
We'll invite Geekarch back. We'll have Ben back. We'll have
both Bens.
We'll have both Bens. We'll just invite everybody back.
Yeah.
Hey, well, we appreciate it though, guys. Thanks for having us back on tonight. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, we totally dig it.
Yeah.
We always have a good time. Gotta party hard.
Party on, Pat.
Party on, Ty.
That's right.
So, as always, I'm Tyler.
I'm Patrick, and it's been excellent hanging out with you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
You guys too.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Talk to you soon.